to go like this and cradle the mic stand here.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Play the intro. Oh boy. Episode 6. Are you ready?
The Phantom Menace.
I thought we just
I know.
said yes.
Yeah, but
okay.
I'm pumped.
Okay.
6 episodes. Gents. I'm
Yeah.
gonna turn this. Oh, that really
It's like we're up to about a half a year content now.
We are.
On
We
our
are actually
on our schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
That's
we just
crazy.
stick with it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I don't know why this is. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bitcade. My name is Ryan E. Moore, but joining me are two fellows in video games that love them dear to their hearts.
We're in video games?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I like that.
I mean, technically, like if you're playing as Master Chief, are you not in the game?
All right, if you're going to be all like that, then I guess.
If you customize a character, are you not in the game?
Yeah, I've had my me in the game
Okay,
before.
well, there
so-
you go.
I mean, yeah, I've had my me in Mario Kart. I've done my best to make myself in FIFA games, but yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is David.
I'm David.
And this is Quinn.
I'm David.
That's what we have to deal with all the time.
Where would we be though without Quinn? I will let you know. He's the glue that holds this tower together. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bitcade. This is episode 6. We are the panel of people that bring you the official Primal Target video game podcast, and that's how that works. I'm having a lot of difficulties here today. I feel like it's there we go. I got to get on it.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to find comfortable too. I'm like, do I do this?
Eventually, we'll have
I'm
better
so-
microphones.
I'm-
And the only way that we can get better microphones is by you subscribing at home. All you got to do is click the little subscribe button, and it builds the PT Nation, it builds the crew, and it allows us to make more content for you guys, and eventually make this well as a audio version. If you want an audio version, we actually stopped doing that just for the time being. But if you want it, make sure you put in the comment section below you want the audio version back. But so far, we're just going to keep making the video ones, and stay tuned right here to Primal Target here on YouTube. But yeah, we got quite a show. We're going to start with this gent over here with topic number 1.
Yeah.
What is topic number 1?
So it just recently came out that there was a document about what Square Enix plans to do in the future with their games, and apparently, from what I understand, is they're gonna stop going from delivering a full game into classifying their games as like what was the term? Games with services or something along those lines, where they're gonna release content for it and then release more content for it over a period of time. So, because I guess the Hitman formula that they did worked really well enough for them, even though they canceled the game and are trying to sell off all the Hitman stuff for it.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I thought it actually did okay.
No, it did. But
it didn't do good enough.
Yeah, it didn't do good enough.
Not for Square Enix. No siree.
Yeah, but they liked that episodic formula.
Yeah.
And so that they have come out and said that Final Fantasy. We already know Final Fantasy VII is going to be in that sort of episodic formula, that remake. And then they have just said in the document that Kingdom Hearts is going to be that same way.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be that way?
Yeah. And then they're talking about transitioning into doing this for all of their titles.
So essentially, they're going with a more popular style is done with like Telltale. Telltale is known
kind
for
of
doing
episodic.
Here's the game.
Yeah.
Here's the season pass. You get all 5 episodes, but throughout a year span.
Right. It's kind of like like the multi-season pass type deal, where Evolve released their game and then the season 1 and then the season 2, but they just didn't do it well and it failed. And then after that, we had Rainbow Six Siege come out. They did their season pass for the
But they succeeded at it.
They succeeded. I think they're the example. They've set the bar for this type of formula to work.
Yeah.
and they just started season 2,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's the route that Square Enix is wanting to go. The only way I really see that working though for games is I see it working with Rainbow Six Siege just because it's a first person shooter. It's not a game that like you need. It's not like a Call of Duty game where there's no single player.
Yeah.
You don't need a new story every 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The only games I can think of though where I feel like if you get a chunk of the game and then just like updates to it are like sports games.
Yeah.
Just give us some base Madden and then just give us a yearly update and then you're good to go. That type of a deal. But I feel like that's just not the right path for them to go with their big heavy hitters. The second I heard them say that they were remaking Final Fantasy VII, I was like, great, they're gonna change it. They're gonna do something different. It's not gonna be the same. And then I heard that they were gonna do it in episodic, and I was like, oh nope, passing. I'm not doing that because I want those games as a full game in one go. That's why I haven't played Final Fantasy 15 yet. It's technically not finished.
Yeah.
Like after I think chapter 13, the quality of the game like plummets, and they say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna come in and fix it," but they haven't done it yet.
So my question is to you: if Square starts coming out and they're like, Square Enix starts coming out and they're like, what's it? Deus Ex is like, here's the game, right? They're
Yeah.
gonna do this format,
Yeah,
$60,
yeah,
but you're gonna have to pay $20 each time you want to add on something.
yeah. That's what people are thinking is gonna basically happen.
Yeah, I'm not buying that game.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
wait
I'm
for
not
the
doing it
I'll wait
either.
for the complete edition when
Yeah.
it's $40 because I mean, for example, like Overwatch. Overwatch has succeeded in where Blizzard has done and we talked about this very briefly off air when we were doing the stream
Yesterday, yeah.
and it was like Overwatch has done this thing where nothing that you pay for matters. Nothing.
Yeah.
None of it.
Yeah.
It's just all
Like
you
Grand
want
Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
All the content for it is free.
Yes.
But it's the little microtransactions that you don't have to participate in.
Yeah,
that are
and you
paying
can
for
earn it very fairly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Rockstar actually helps people out
Yeah.
very often
Yeah.
about like, oh, here's double XP, double cash for racing, and you get like $45,000 to just and you come in last place.
Yeah.
But like, but the problem is with games like with Battlefield. The Battlefield 1, the game looks beautiful and it's a great game. The problem is like the online just broke. It doesn't make any sense because as soon as people start leveling up and then they get the random box and then they get the special ultra gun, that guy can just use the special gun and run around the map and start picking people off. And then it just doesn't make any sense because now, okay, that guy paid $35 to get, the rare chest, and now I can't play anymore because he's obviously going to kill me every time, and it just takes 5 or 10 people of those running around the map, and then it's just not fun anymore.
Yeah.
But
that was what the little paper though that said that it's gonna be. I don't know. I'm sure they're also gonna. It's Square Enix. They're probably gonna fill the games with microtransactions as well. I feel like that's an unfortunate thing that's happening with games now, where it's just microtransaction heavy. I hope that it's not, like you were saying with Battlefield 1, where it almost feels mandatory to participate in it to get on an even playing field.
What about you, Quinn? What are you feeling over here?
I guess I could see why this is.
He's about to throw up. That's how he
Yeah.
feels about it.
Yeah.
He's sick to his stomach. Can't handle it anymore.
Yeah, I see why it's popular because it gets them a lot more money too, and I assume like I don't know how it works in terms of like development goes or something, but I would assume if they're just shipping out like parts at a time, it probably makes it easier for the developer as well to just be able to make small parts each time. But I guess it pretty much sucks that they're doing this. I mean, they need money though.
Yeah, I mean,
I think what concerns me though is if they release like, let's say, the first episode of Final Fantasy VII, right? They released that first episode, and
How much do you think that's gonna cost?
it's probably going to be full retail, but you're going to probably get all of the later episodes free, like what Telltale does. When you pay like $30, you pay like $60 up
Okay,
front.
so
and
you're not thinking that the chunks are. Gonna
I don't
pay-
think I don't think they better. They will be. They will have problems if you have to pay for each individual one. It's gonna if they don't do the $60 up front or like $15 per episode, they're gonna have problems.
Okay.
Or however, if they don't follow the Telltale's formula basically for it, then for that kind of a thing, then they're gonna have problems. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. That question got me off track.
Sorry. There was, I mean, with you were talking about Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Releasing the game, they're probably gonna release the full tale.
Okay, if they release that first episode and like it's the gameplay and like the engine is like super broken, well then that means that episode 2 is gonna be even more delayed while they try and fix episode 1. I'd rather wait for the full game, have it release it, and then if it happens to be broken, released. Then they don't have to try and worry about making the next content update for it. And then they can just focus on fixing the game, if that makes sense.
So I'm trying to check and see how much that Hitman game was. It's $60 now, brand new. If you were to go to like a retail.
Yeah, but it comes with all the episodes for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, and it was advertised as that. It was,
I don't think you can buy it by itself anymore.
Yeah, I don't think
But yeah, like GameStop has it for 60. So
well, yeah, cuz I don't know is there a physical copy of it, cuz I don't know if all the
that was
episodes
physical copy.
is all the episodes finished?
Yeah, it's over.
Oh, okay.
But that's the other thing is like, with this leaves up for like reviewers that the game isn't complete. So when an episode comes out, they review the episode.
You have to review it by each episode.
Yeah. So like the overall game could be great. I was having this conversation with one of our coworkers, and he was talking about how the new Walking Dead season 3, like some of the newer episodes are getting bad reviews. And the thing is like the initial game is not finished yet, so you can't blame them.
Right.
Like that's how it's supposed to be rated. If the episode 1 got a 7, but episode 2 got a 4, and then episode 3 got a 6, then you're kind of like, okay, well, midway through this story.
And the problem is you've already invested all this money in it.
Yeah, and you don't know if you don't know. I mean, that was what the problem with Batman is like a lot of people rated the in-between episodes really low. Now, I played the Batman Telltale game. I liked it. Like, I'm a Batman fan, though, so that's kind of where, I like the characters in the Gotham City universe. So, and they make an appearance, and it's kind of cool to see a new take on it. But I can see where, episode 2, the first one kind of kicks you in because you're like, okay, things are a little different here. It's not the same. But like you can't review it yet. It's not over yet. You still, and who knows? The developers don't even tell you how long this is going to take.
Right.
At least when, Overwatch does, we didn't know there was going to be an anniversary edition because we didn't know if the game was going to succeed, but we kind of knew, but we didn't know.
We knew the game was going to be just fine.
But I'm saying, like, an example of, like, with Overwatch, we didn't know there was going to be an anniversary edition. Right. Or these events and things like that. Or more better example would be the, what was it, Rainbow Six game. Right. They flat out told you, year 1 edition.
Yeah.
You're going to get the gold. If you get the gold edition, you get all the year 1 stuff all for free. For $80, you get it all for free. Right there. Boom.
Yeah, it's the game with the season pass, basically.
But then they came out with another season pass.
Yeah, and the season pass. So the season pass is okay. So I will tell you as myself, I bought Rainbow Six Siege by itself, standard version. I then paid $30 for the year 1 season pass because I really enjoyed the game. I recently haven't played it pretty much since Overwatch has been out. And then to get this season 2 is just another, or year 2 is just another season pass for $30. Now I don't have to purchase it to get that content. I
Yeah,
will still
you can
get
still
the
earn it.
content. I will still get the maps, and I can still unlock the characters. It's just I have to grind for the characters. I don't get them 2 weeks early.
Yeah.
And I don't get some in-game currency and some other things like that.
And there for like another thing of free content. I understand like what you were talking about with like Square Enix is, this is gonna get money. Money is you
Right.
vote with your wallet essentially.
Yeah.
But with the games that do it for free are the big name games, the games that stay around the longest. Halo 5 gave all their content away for free. The only thing you got to pay for is the
loot
cards. Yeah,
yeah,
and
the
those
loot.
don't even matter at all unless you play Warzone. But even then, those are aesthetics.
Yeah.
And you get those for free every time you log on. Overwatch, you get a loot box every time you level up. So that's free right there. You don't have to do it. And they give you currency to buy skins. And then GTA 5, like you were saying.
Yeah.
They give all their stuff away for free. And mostly because Rockstar doesn't need it. I mean, they could be totally like EA and Activision and all the other guys and go, nope.
Well, I think
you're going to you want the race bike DLC?
Yeah.
People would buy that.
Yeah.
Like for $5, $15, slap it on right there. Nope, here you go. Pay $15, then you can get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, those are the games that last the longest, and
yeah,
Hitman's just a splash in the water, and no one cares.
Well, the thing is the reason why is I use Battlefield as a perfect example is because when that content is free, especially the maps, it doesn't split the player base. That was the biggest criticism I have with like the Battlefield games because I played Battlefield.
And you were a big Battlefield fan.
I was a big Battlefield fan, except I haven't bought Battlefield 1 just because I fell out with the series. Because I loved Bad Company games was my Battlefield 1943, the little $15 DLC, or not DLC but digital one on the PS3, Xbox 3. That was my first like intro into Battlefield, and I loved it. Battlefield Bad Company.
One?
What?
Wait, what's one is that one? Is that the funny one?
No, that's Bad Company, which came
Okay.
after that, and
Okay.
then Battlefield Bad Company 2, which is probably still my favorite in the series, or in the Battlefield first-person shooters. And then I played 3 and I played 4, and I was premium member on those. And the problem is 3 and 4. Now the DLC for other than the Vietnam expansion for Bad Company 2, all of the maps were free for Bad Company 2. Except for the Vietnam expansion, but the Vietnam game was literally like its own game. Okay, it was literally its own game. And so when Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 came out, when they released their DLC, they gave out new maps, they gave out new game modes, and people would play them for like the first 2 weeks. And then if you wanted to play those game modes, you couldn't find a server for it anywhere because those servers wouldn't be populated because nobody's on them because not everybody can play them, so everybody goes back to the default game ones, the vanilla maps and all that stuff.
See, because I remember, having Call of Duty and being, when Call of Duty World at War was my friend's big game. Like everyone played it. That's why we're gonna eventually play the Zombie Chronicles one that brings in all these old maps from Call of Duty, from the Treyarch side for zombies. But the thing is like, you would play it, but yeah, there would be times where Joe wouldn't have, I don't know what Joe, but I'm just saying, like, Joe Bob didn't have the map pack. So we were like, all right, well, we're not playing on those maps tonight. We're just playing with.
Yeah.
Now, Call of Duty does a little different where if they find somebody that isn't there, then they just wipe that off of the list of maps that you're going to get thrown into. But still, like, I see what you mean. Like, those servers are not going to be populated because. Yeah.
Yeah, because in Battlefield 3 in particular, the very last DLC that they released, the maps were fantastic. They were beautiful, gorgeous, not just visually, but in terms of gameplay and their layout, they were awesome. And fortunately enough, those were popular enough to where you could find a server for those, but just those 4 maps. And it was just people just playing those maps. And it sucked because there was just, you would have much more variety. So I like the idea of, I like that that formula. It all depends on how Square Enix executes it, and I don't think they're gonna do it in a gamer friendly way. To be honest with you,
I'm just scared for Tomb Raider. Like that's the only Square Enix game that I hands down buy.
yeah,
Like it will be a game that is in the cart already.
yeah,
But I'm afraid because like
Yeah,
now
they're
I'm
g-
like,
are they gonna turn it into
yeah,
episodic
is this
thing?
gonna be is this gonna be trash now?
Yeah,
Microsoft's got to save it.
yeah.
So Quinn, is there a game series that you like that's kind of like that you've played,
Is there a Square
It's
Enix?
episodic,
or I mean like a game that was of the games that you play? Okay, so think of all the games you play.
yes.
Are they majority landing in those we're giving everything away for free? Pay if you want to, but you don't have to at all. Or are they landing into, pick up the DLC here and there. You don't have to pick them all up, but here you go. Like the Call of Duty method, where you just buy the groups. You know what I'm talking about?
Most of them are complete and don't have anything really, except if they do have DLC, it's like excess, like superfluous stuff that you don't really need.
Yeah.
For example, like in Persona 5, all the DLC is cosmetic.
Right.
Okay.
Which is sort of like how it is in Overwatch anyway,
Right.
too.
Mhm.
The only one that I think that I play that has a lot of DLC that's like extra maps, like bonus stories and stuff like that, which is, I think, like one of the only Nintendo games that really sort of enforces this like new age sort of DLC sort of style, is Fire Emblem.
Oh, okay.
It has a lot of like
I thought you were gonna say Splatoon. Like,
no,
I was
because
like-
all of its DLC was free.
Splatoon was free.
Yeah, all the because
I did not know that.
Well, wasn't did you have to pay for the Mario Kart stuff on Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U?
For the maps and stuff, yeah, initially.
Oh, okay.
But I bought it when it was bundled with the Wii U, so
Oh, okay.
I got most of it free, I believe.
Mm.
But yeah, Splatoon's was free. I forget the exact reason for it, like maybe because there was a delay or something like that. But they were like, yeah, all the DLC pretty much will be free up to a certain point. And by the time that happened, it was pretty much like the end of the DLC anyway that they were gonna make for the game, because, well, now we know they're making Splatoon 2 for the Switch.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Fire Emblem's the only one that is really like that. But I like Fire Emblem enough that I do buy the DLC anyway.
Did they do DLC for Smash?
Yes, that is also another thing. They did. Most of it was cosmetics, like Wii Fighter costumes and stuff. The only things that were like
You gotta get that female.
really cool that people ever picked up was a couple maps, like only two. I think there was only like the Final Fantasy map and the Street Fighter map.
Okay.
Oh, and the Bayonetta map. But those all came with the characters if you bought them, I believe.
Oh, interesting.
So, and then there was 5 DLC characters. There was Roy, Mewtwo, Bayonetta, Cloud, and Ryu.
But those were all characters you could buy.
But those were
The
all
figures.
the 5. No, they didn't come with the figures.
Oh,
If
okay.
you bought the figure... No, because when you bought figures in Smash, what it gave you was a little AI that you could train and fight against. And so it was
okay.
really weird. So if you bought the figure but you didn't own it, that would be like the only way you could see the character
In the game.
unless if you went online and fought a guy who owned the character.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So was the character in the game already,
I don't
or was he
think
just attached
so,
to
because there's
because that would be like that Street Fighter thing. You remember that a couple years
yeah
ago?
where it was
They
it
put
was
all those characters
it was all
on the disc.
Yeah, it was all on disc.
And you just had to buy the
and then
the
it
code
was
to
pretty much
unlock
like-
it.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was it was essentially
Wow.
they gave you a safe with everything in there, and they let you look inside, and then you could buy a key to open up the safe so you could
Nice.
get in there.
No, I'm pretty
Nice.
sure they were just added with patches, but you couldn't
Really?
access it until you paid for the money, because the 3 characters were a poll that they essentially that you voted on, which was Cloud, Corrin technically, and then Bayonetta.
Okay.
And those were like the poll, because Bayonetta was chosen because she was the most popular in Europe and America, so they were just like, or she made the top list in both Europe and America. She wasn't the number one in both areas, but they were just like, well, both these places
Yeah,
wanna see
wanted
her.
her. Yeah.
And then Cloud was number 1 in Japan, so they were like,
There you go. That's how it's working.
And they probably were thinking about Final Fantasy remake in their heads too.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if it will be on the Switch.
Yeah, and that's interesting. Why would they release that and then not have a deal with possibly episode 7? I mean,
All
episode
comes full
7.
circle.
But yeah, it does. Any final thoughts? We kind of.
I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do final vote. Do you think good or bad idea?
I don't like it.
I'm gonna say I don't like it either. But again, I'm more worried about the games that Square makes.
Like taking it for like face value, I don't like it. However, if they do it right,
now if they
that's the thing.
if they do $60,
yeah,
you own it forever.
yeah,
That's a pass.
with everything.
If they say, here's $25 for our game,
yeah,
and then $10 for our expansions,
yeah,
that I'll pass too.
yeah, it's more of like I don't want to spend like $20 for an episode, get invested in that episode, and then have to pay another $20 for the second part of the episode, and then start to, I don't know.
Well,
I don't
see,
know.
I'm also
I
a
just
Telltale
don't-
fan, so like I'm used to buying
Yeah,
$20 for the base game,
yeah,
and then $5 an
$5 for the
episode.
rest.
Yeah,
Yeah, see, I don't know.
because then it all equals out to about like $45.
It literally all depends on the model, how much game you get for your dollar, and
Yeah. I mean, Telltale has a lot of replay value. But yeah, like Final Fantasy VII, it's like how much can you play that over and over again? I mean, I know there's Final Fantasy fans that will totally say, I will play it over and over again.
yeah,
But I mean, it's still the same story.
yeah,
You ain't changing things.
yeah. So yeah.
What about you, Quinn? Yay or nay?
I want to say first that I agree with you, because one of the things I thought at first, if it is split up into like episodes, that I would hope that the game initially, is either you pay for it and then you get every episode for free or whatever, or it unlocks
The
eventually.
$60 and
Yeah,
everything.
or it's initially a lot cheaper, so that you pay whatever and then you pay like the few or whatever price it is, hopefully a reasonable price.
Yeah. Not $35 a DLC.
yeah.
For really.
Per thing. That would suck. That'd
Yeah.
be terrible.
Mhm.
But all in all, I would rather prefer. I'm the type of person that, because I waited so long for Persona 5, right?
Yeah.
And it got delayed like twice, and I'm okay with that because I'd rather get
a nice
a
full
complete
game.
full game, than something that's rushed
Then
out.
chunks at
is
a
just
time.
crappy. Yeah.
Yeah, because that just worries me. That's all. I don't like it. Like I just don't like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's up to you now. Comment section below. What do you think? Is this a good idea for Square? If not, put down in the comment section below what you think they should do if you were in charge of Square, or maybe you do think that this is a great idea. I don't know.
What are your thoughts?
Yes,
Just what are your thoughts?
Exactly.
Let us know.
We're moving on to topic number 2. Quinn, this is yours. Take us away.
All right. So my topic for discussion is one that we called the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes.
And it's a question about who our favorite protagonist in a video game is, who our favorite like supporting characters are in a video game, and then an annoying character in a video game.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be necessarily a bad guy. It can just be someone that was like, wouldn't stop trying to sell you like a pickle jar for 28 hours. I don't know. That could be very plausible.
What game was that? Why was that? You need to be in one of those like development of like, all right, we need a new character for the new Zelda game.
See,
I
that was my
have
thought
one.
too. I'm like, that character would fit in a Zelda game.
You just find
And
him in a
he's like-
cave.
And he's like, oh,
I
so-
have some pickles.
So it's like, oh, so you need this pickle jar for a fairy, huh? How many rubies do you have? That's what I see that doing.
That's awesome. All right. So who's starting this one out? You gonna pick someone else, or you gonna pick yourself? Don't interrupt. You choose the tab. It's your topic.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go
All
first.
right. Because you always do.
I don't mind going for.
I
I'll
know.
start.
I'm just giving him the
I will-
option.
Well, like, if
Is
he doesn't
him the
want to
lead.
start, I don't mind.
Yes,
so.
I understand that.
Okay.
So
I'm just giving you a hard time.
I'm glad you did it though, because that was perfect. You stopped me like mid-word.
my favorite protagonist is the the protagonist from The World Ends With You, which is a DS game, which, funny enough, is a game by Square Enix.
And it's still being released to this day.
In parts, yeah.
In parts.
Okay, well, I
There's
mean,
new HD remix of it.
no, so it came out on the DS, and it's one of the only games on the DS that was like, people praise it a lot because, you know, it was the DS was sort of the gimmick. Nintendo always does gimmicks, so it was always like the touch sort of gimmick and stuff. And not a lot of games really fully utilize that, but this game was one of the games that was praised for implementing that into the gameplay really well.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the protagonist of the game, his name is Neku Sakuraba or something like that.
Bless you.
And of course, by that name, he's a Japanese dude. And it takes place in Shibuya. And so the game starts off. So the character is just some loner dude in the beginning. He like listens to music all the time. Doesn't really like hang out with people, and the only things he likes doing is like looking at the graffiti in the city, and he's like, yeah, I love art and I love music, but I hate people. And he's like, stay away from me. And then the premise of the game starts, and he ends up, I don't want to spoil how the game starts, but he ends up
the game is what,
oh, well,
10
it's
years
really
old?
yeah, but like the way the game happens is like the final boss essentially of the game.
Okay.
And so he wakes up and he's like, I think he has amnesia or something at the game, or he just can't remember like
typical
a certain part.
Square Enix protagonist move. Yeah.
I mean, he still knows what he likes, but he just can't remember like how he got into this scenario or something. And a bunch of these other people are competing in this. I don't remember what the game inside the game is called, but they pretty much have to like do these tasks or fight for survival essentially, and they have like 7 days to do it.
Okay. 7 days.
Yeah.
After they watch
and
the
over the
video.
course of the
Exactly.
story,
After you play the game, you have 7 days left.
you do the 7 days like 3 times. It's essentially like almost a month, I believe.
Yeah, that's about a month.
And he gets like a different partner each time, and each time he gets a different partner because there's only like one winner per game, and then the winner of the game gets to move on to the next like round or something like that. If I remember, the last time I played this game, I was in middle school, so it's a little fuzzy.
Wow.
And it was like a little bit of a complex plot with all these like weird things in it.
Yeah.
And over the course of the game, you know, he gets stuck with all these people that, you know, normally he wouldn't be with, but you have to have a partner when you do the games. And so he eventually learns about these people, and it makes him get up and talk and interact with people. So by the end of the game, he stops being a social outcast, and he actually like has these bonds and these friends and these people. And I think that's kind of cool for a character to grow from being someone that would not associate themselves with others to someone that has more of an optimistic outlook on life.
Okay. That's pretty good. So my question about your topic here, do we want to go? All of us do our pro tags, and then all of us and then we go back.
Oh yeah,
all of us do our side. That way we kind of split it all.
That
up.
would be probably a lot easier to follow. Yeah.
Okay. Who do you want to go next?
David Keegan.
Okay.
So I wrote down 2, but I think I'm gonna have to go with my man Geralt of Rivia from The Witcher.
You spent a lot of time with him, so
my other guy was Nathan Drake. Okay.
Oh, your other guy was Nathan?
My other guy was Nathan Drake.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little shocked about that.
Yeah,
But
I like Nathan Drake,
Yeah.
and I think the reason why these 2 characters stick out for me is I tend to gravitate towards characters that are more well developed and well written. I'm not a fan of the silent protagonist that just like doesn't say much.
So do you hate Master Chief or something?
He's just, I don't hate him.
I mean,
I don't find him interesting.
Yeah. I
okay?
mean, it's mainly Cortana that is the character that is
yeah.
revolving around it. But it's their relationship.
But
anyway.
but I'm gonna have to go with Geralt because I love his dry humor. I love the fact.
I'm assuming the voice acting is great too.
Oh yeah,
Wasn't he nominated for like voice actor of the year?
wouldn't
Like,
surprise me.
doubt it.
Yeah,
I don't
something
Wouldn't
like
surprise
that.
me. But I love the fact that he has this really like just dry, witty humor to him, and he just has some zingers that are just hilarious. Unfortunately, I'm drawing a blank on any specific ones right now, but even Rebecca is reading the books right
Oh
now,
wow.
and she was saying that she likes his humor too. And that's not something that people really think of when they think of The Witcher is the amount of humor in the game. And that's one of the things I'm worried about with the show that's happening is that that's gonna get lost.
It is Netflix though, right?
It's Netflix, yeah.
So I mean, they haven't failed us this time.
Yeah. Yeah. But he's just a badass.
Yeah.
And I love the story revolving around him and the characters in the whole just series. Just the way that they're all written together, and I just love his interactions with everything. It's one of the few games where I will spend hundreds of hours and not skip a dialogue thing just to get my fetch quest and go, you know, because he's awesome.
Yeah, I'm
just
curious
awesome.
to hear about Nate Dogg here. What's your relationship with Nathan Drake here? Because you
I've-
don't have a PS4, so you don't know his ending story.
No, Uncharted 4 is the only one other than the one on the Vita.
Yeah. I could let you borrow Golden Fizz.
I have played and I have platinumed all of them. Well, I haven't platinumed all of them because I didn't get all the multiplayer trophies. I got all of the trophies you can get involving just the single player.
Okay.
For the first three.
So 100% of the story.
100% of the story, yeah. That's going through on the hardest difficulties and everything I can get not going on the multiplayer, because I actually did enjoy the multiplayer. The multiplayer, especially in 2, I didn't really play it in 3, but I played it in 2 a lot. That was fun.
I remember at PAX they were handing out cards for the beta codes
Yeah.
for Uncharted 3.
Oh
They
yeah.
were handing out these little cards.
But no, I like how just Nathan is, adventurous. He's a smart guy. He's funny. I think that's a big thing for me is the person's got to be funny.
Yeah.
And him like Geralt, they just get their business done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There was a
And-
little bit
and
of
it-
some
yeah.
stopping there.
Yeah,
in
I
the
know,
sentence there.
but it's the whole cast as a whole that
Yes.
completes
Yeah.
because like I really liked Chloe. I'm Chloe over Elena all day every day in my
Wow,
opinion.
alright, okay.
But no, I
alright,
haven't
there's
finished the
A lot of
games.
Death Notes going on. Right?
I haven't finished the series. I
Yeah.
always liked Chloe more than Elena though, just because she's.
Is there a new girl in Golden Abyss?
I've never played
You didn't play
Uncharted.
that one?
I've never played Uncharted.
You
That's-
have the PlayStation consoles.
Yeah, but I'm not interested in those
Okay,
games.
alright,
I mean,
So
I
that's
do
okay.
want to
It's
play
fair
those.
enough. It's
Yeah.
fair enough. It's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would have to go Geralt above Nathan.
Okay.
But those.
But he's a
two-
very close
He's
second.
a close second.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had Marcus written down here, but then I'm kind of like,
Marcus
no.
Phoenix.
Yes, but the only reason why is because he was the reason why I got into things of the Xbox persuasion. But other than that, I just kind of walked away from that idea. But then I wrote down Franklin, Michael, and Trevor from GTA 5. Now here's the thing. I don't
I
say
would
this
group them. I
specifically.
would group them as one.
Yeah, I
as one
don't
character,
say
too.
this
I understand
specifically
that.
on why I love GTA 5's story,
Mhm.
specifically with these 3 characters. Rockstar pulled off something that has never been done, as far as I know, of 3 characters that get the same amount of screen time. You play as all 3 of them. They have all different storylines. I mean, mainly revolves around Franklin. Spoiler alert, things happen at the end. But yeah, Franklin's mainly the main character. But the reason why I love them all so much is because Franklin is a kid that grew up in the hood, that never had a dad,
Yeah.
that doesn't really have a mom. I don't think he actually has a mom either. He lives with
He
his
was
aunt.
aunt.
Yeah, and he's never been shown the fatherly love that is supposed to be shown. So he just grows up in the hood. He hangs out with his friends. He does all that stuff. But in his mind, he's like, there's things better for me.
Uh-huh.
And I need to go find that. So, I mean, he hangs out with Lamar, his friend, and all that stuff. But he even knows
idiot.
this is stupid. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to be here. When he was offered Employee of the Month, like in the very beginning of the game, because I just played it over again for the first time in a long time. And Franklin's like, this is stupid. Like, I steal cars for you to sell them again, and like I know this is wrong. And then where Michael is he has this family that was put together, but it wasn't what he wanted. Like, this is,
He's bored.
yeah, I mean, he says in the very beginning of the game, he doesn't respect his son. He thinks his daughter's kind of a sleut.
Yeah.
He thinks his wife is, you know,
cheating on him, right?
yeah, which we do see.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But it's like, you know, this is, Michael has always tried to find the family, but he never had the people that he wanted in his life. It all got ruined because they all fell down the hole of, oh, well, we're rich, so we're going to deal with it anyway. And where Michael was like, no, that's not how I grew up. Like, I grew up with having to earn my money. I had to go out there, robbed everything, and I earned it. But, like, he still put his life on the line. And so he finds Franklin, and this is how, like, this is the son that he never had. Literally,
exactly.
this is the son he never had. And Trevor, as much of, like, you know, he's crazy and wild, is a totally, like, amazing character. What's going on with your cat over there?
Hairball.
Oh.
He's fine.
Trevor, on the other hand, is totally, like, this character of, obviously he's this crazy wild person, but then on the inside it's so distracting.
Yeah, I know. My cat is dealing. You can probably hear it. My cat's dealing with a hairball right now. He'll be done in a second.
We'll cut this part.
Why? This is riveting entertainment.
We're
What's
watching-
gonna happen?
Yeah, exactly.
No. Oh, is he good? He should have a couple more big ones. Oh, is that it? Oh, yeah. When he licks his lips, he's usually done. He's thinking. Oh. Nope, he's licking his lips again. Oh, yep. Nope, he's good.
There we go.
He's good.
Welcome back. Anyway, so it was just like I was totally zoning out over there, because he's like right in front of me.
Yeah.
So anyway, like, Trevor is that character that
Crazy uncle.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
That's how I always thought of him.
he had his friends. Like, we see that in the very beginning of the game. Michael was his best friend of his whole entire life. He knew his wife. He knew the people. I mean, he didn't really know the two other guys, because the guy that gets shot, they even say, like, some crazy yokel, it doesn't matter, and then they toss him out the door. But, like, him and Michael were the diehards. They will put their lives on the line for each other. And that's why Trevor stays to shoot after the cops, because he's like, no, I'm putting my life on the line so you can roll out. But Michael's like, no, I'm dying, even though we all know he doesn't die. But, like, Trevor loses everything. His life goes into pieces. He lost his best friend, the only person he ever loved, and, like, now he lives in a trailer park and doesn't do anything. Like, it's crazy.
They were the complete opposite sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, exactly.
Of the end of how that can play out.
Yeah. And so you see Trevor as this lost child of, like, never having family, and then finally realizing Michael's still alive. Like, now I gotta go find him. And then obviously you see the story kick in, and that's what it is. But those three characters are so amazing in, like, there are people out there that hate Grand Theft Auto. Just hate it because it's Grand Theft Auto.
Yep.
But the problem is like, you don't give the chance of this amazing story that these three characters that go on this adventure that, unlike any other, would, and then eventually cross paths and have to deal with the same things. And then, well, something's kind of fuzzy. Everything plugged in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're all good.
All right.
All right. Anyway,
Mic check.
yeah, exactly. It was like fuzzy, but anyway, those three characters to me are something that I've never experienced in video games, and how they're all connected to each other and all have wanted at least one of each other in some way, shape, or form. Another one that, just a quick one, was because you said Nathan Drake, was Lara Croft. The new Lara Croft is one of my favorite characters right now, is just because the story that has been revamped out of that is great. And I just want more. I just keep wanting more out of it.
Yeah, I'm ready for the next one.
Yeah, but that's my quick one. I love the new Lara, especially Camilla Luddington. Shout out to Camilla Luddington. She retweeted me. Great person. But other than that, All right, on to the what else we got?
Supporting character.
Supporting character. What do you got?
All right, for me, I didn't just get done beating Persona 5. I'm about to beat it for the 3rd time now.
Jeez.
I'm gonna do my 4th playthrough because I'm trying to 100% it.
Does that have New Game Plus?
Yes.
Okay, I always thought Persona did, but.
So I've spent quite a few hours in that game. In that realm of existence.
He is you now.
And so, one of my favorite supporting characters in video games is Yosuke Hanamura from Persona 4.
Really? You like
Yeah. Because the reason I like Yosuke so much is because
from Persona 4.
Yes, Persona
Yeah,
4.
yeah.
Well, first of all, there's not a lot of scenarios that are like Persona for the most part, like in terms of video games, like anime wise, yeah, probably. Well, because most animes are like school life, blah 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 blah. But in terms of games, not a lot of games are like, you go to school now.
I mean, you realize Yosuke is probably not going to have children from how many times he got hit in the nuts.
Well, that's okay. He doesn't. He's got Teddy for his kid.
Wow, what a trade-off. Teddy is the guy that's like the big mascot for Persona 4. He's the big teddy bear guy, the big round thing.
I mean, he lives with him anyway, so
whatever.
like that might as well be his kid. He's got to pay for his clothes too. And so, because your main bro, essentially, because you always get a bro character
yes,
in
you do.
Persona.
Yes, you do. Yeah, your main. This is the first person you meet,
yeah.
And this is like the main character's best friend, essentially.
Yeah.
Persona 3 was Junpei, and I haven't really got to hang out with him.
No,
you're more of his senpai.
And Yosuke is Persona 4, and then Ryuji is Persona 5. And when I was playing Persona 5, it just made me realize, like, I like the characters in that game a lot. But like
you
how
missed him. You missed
yeah, because
Persona.
Yosuke, in comparison to Ryuji, because they're both in very similar slots of being like the second in command, I would say. Well, kind of, because Morgana's more, I would feel the second in command.
Yeah, well, more because that's the cat.
In
Okay.
Persona 5.
For those of you who are wondering why they're explaining things to me, I've never played a Persona
Yeah.
game, so that's why. Yeah.
It's a big investment.
Yes, it is a very big time investment. But Yosuke, he fills the role of being a dude that will hang out with you and will scheme with you to do all sorts of crazy teenage sort of things.
Shenanigans.
He will take you out for food. He will get you a part-time job at his work.
Well, you can. If
You can if you want. You could just brush him off and go, screw
No,
yourself.
I don't want to work. I don't want to work at Every Day's Great at Your Judas. That's the theme song
That's
for the story.
For their workplace, yeah. Or and also he's like one of the smarter members of the group. Not as book smart as like Yukiko, and not as like just all around smart as Naoto, because Naoto's a detective, even though she's like 14.
Oh wow, spoiler.
Yeah, even though sorry,
No,
even though that game came out in like 2008 or something.
2012 is the golden one too.
Yeah.
So like even then. Yeah.
But he's smart. He'll help you out. He's always looking out for your back. He like calls you partner. You're his partner.
Yeah.
That's how much he
We
means to you.
can't say your name, but yeah.
That
always made me mad whenever it said, "Ain't that right, partner?" and then it says, "comma your name," and I'm like, dude, what? You said something like-
just say my name.
Yeah, just say it. I don't know what's wrong. Yeah, Yosuke is a pretty good one. Yosuke is a pretty good one.
Yeah, it's just because like in just comparison to Ryuji real quick. Not that I hate Ryuji, but Ryuji is a little lacking in the brain department, and
a little bit.
He's kind of broke a lot of the time. Because half of the time, like one of the parts in the game that is like not an actual part that is part of the main story, but if you hang out with him and do his social link, or in Persona 5 it's called Confidant, he goes, you guys are eating, and he's like, oh dude, I forgot my wallet.
Oh yeah, it's like the very beginning thing you do, yeah.
And you're like, you forgot your wallet? Are you kidding me?
And he just bails.
Yeah, it's just like, because Yosuke would have been like, I'll pay for your stuff, bro. I got it.
Though his family is
Yeah,
rich,
yeah,
so there's that
they do
part.
own like the place that you do eat at most of the time, but
Oh yeah.
He still hooks you up.
That's, nevertheless, that's like if we went to like a family-owned restaurant that I did, and I was like, "Oh, I got your meal." It was like, "No, you didn't pay for this. Like you just gave this for free." Yeah.
But that's my favorite. One of my favorite supporting characters in the video.
That's a good one. That's definitely a good one. All right, David,
Me?
who you got for support?
Well, I have kind of a list.
You want to give like one
Well,
long one and the brief.
So yeah, I'll just do I guess the boop boop boop.
Okay.
So for that boop 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 would be like Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite,
Yep.
Sully from Uncharted
Okay.
series,
Never mind.
and then
Dorado.
and Yennefer from the Witcher series. Yeah, I prefer Yennefer over Triss. I like Yennefer more than Triss. But for the one I have to go for
You get to
is
see Yennefer naked though. Just so
you can
know.
see all of them.
As far as I know, I only know Yennefer.
It's more of it's a character type from the Final Fantasy series that I really have that I like, and because they tend to kind of take those archetypes through the games, and so I always kind of know which character I'm gonna like because there's gonna be that character that's basically that character. And so just like some examples of those, like the Fang from 13. It's usually like the strong female, like don't take crap from anybody, but I'm gonna kick your butt after you try. That like Fang, Fran, and
That's the bunny girl.
yeah, that's her. And then one of my favorites though is Freya from 9, and I really liked her because she's a very strong character, but she has the most like tragic backstory, with like the man that she loves like sacrificing himself for her in battle, but not dying. And then forgetting forgetting who she is, and all this kind
so
of
he's
stuff.
still alive, but
He's still-
as if they never met each other.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
And I've always have gravitated towards the more, I guess, the stronger female character rather than just the ones that are just kind of there, or the characters that are there, because they're
feel that. I feel that.
awesomely well written characters, and they all are unique in their own ways. But like, I like Fran is just, or not Fran, Fang. I like how they all start with an F. I just didn't notice that. Fang
Coincidence?
Fang from 13 was my favorite character in that game. I loved the accent. One thing.
She Australian?
Yeah.
Oh.
Called it.
I
I liked her look. She used the pole arm, she was the Dragoon. That's my favorite type of character.
Drig Dragoon.
And she was witty and funny, and I liked her. So
Yeah, that's good.
I thought I'd keep that nice and short.
You know, as I was hearing yours, and then I was just kind of thinking, because I had Elizabeth too. Obviously,
Yeah.
I love Elizabeth.
I don't know anybody who doesn't, who's played BioShock Infinite. And
A lot of
doesn't.
people don't like BioShock Infinite. Have you known this?
I have, yeah. It's
I
the
didn't
ending.
know
People
that.
don't like the ending because
I was fine with it.
I know Rebecca doesn't like the ending. She likes everything
felt
up
fine.
into the, yeah. So did I. I've heard that the ending is what drives people away because yeah.
It's still a little bit.
It's
because they need
there's-
to come out again.
I think
so.
I think the problem is that there's so much information that the game is trying to tell you
And then
in
they go,
such a
okay,
short
we gotta
period of
push
time.
it. We gotta push it.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
I think that's it, and I can understand why that would be a turnoff to people.
I love BioShock Infinite. A lot of people say it's not. I think it's better than the first one. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for that one too. I do like the first one, and
I love
the
the
first
first
one
one.
is, but they're two different games.
Yes, they are two very different
like
styles.
one
of games.
is a horror game,
Yeah.
survival horror.
Yeah.
The other one is trying to tell you a story.
Yeah,
And I'm not saying that the first one doesn't try to tell you a story, but
it's there.
that's not
you kind
the
of have to dig.
focus of
You
what
kind
it
of have
is.
to dig for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, Elizabeth by far one of my favorite. Probably my number one, because like the Booker catch. I kid you not.
Booker catch.
For someone that has played BioShock knows, I've no ammo. I don't know where to look. Elizabeth's running off, and she finds it for you and she tosses you stuff.
Mhm.
And I'm like, thank God, like I was gonna die, but you saving me. And no one shoots her, by the way. Like
No.
she just gets by things.
Yeah, she goes off and hides.
And I just like her character
combat
too, because eventually you do find out what she is and who she is,
what she can do, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And
Yep.
and that adds a lot more of a like. I think it was kind of like with I even thought of another one, Clementine. Of it's the same feeling. Like you need to look after her, and you need to do something to get her from point A to point B. Doesn't matter how it's gonna happen, and you're not gonna know how it's gonna happen. But for some reason, you need to protect her. So Clem and Elizabeth, they're probably the close. They're pretty neck and neck. And then I was starting to remember. We'll go back to Persona. Chie, one of my favorite characters. I love Chie so much. I just can't. She was the first girl I immediately like fell for like her whole character arc, because I just wanted to hang out. Like I wanted, because in the anime you get this bullet point. This is what's gonna happen, and then in the game you get the free range now. Now you get to change the whole story of like, what would have happened if you would have been, talking with Chie a lot more. So I like Chie too. She's probably a second, or I guess third place. And then going back to Mass Effect, Jack is probably one of my favorite characters in the Mass Effect series. So much so, I would totally make a mini series about her because she is awesome.
Yeah.
The fact that she
I don't
has
disagree with that.
this huge backstory. I would play a Mass Effect game if it just was Jack. And the reason why is you find so much detail, and a lot of people will just blow her off. Like they don't care about her. She's a jerk. I don't want to talk to her. Why would you? She's practically 90% naked when you meet her, but that might be a reason why people talk to her.
You mean her suspenders?
Yeah, more of like, I wouldn't even call it that.
Have you seen Jack before? All
Here,
she wears is
I'll
like
look.
suspenders with like a strap in the middle. That's pretty much it. And she's covered in tattoos.
This is her. Put up an image. That's her. And she has these like
Yeah.
right
Wait,
here.
that's what.
Yeah, that's what she looks like in game. Yeah.
Yeah. That's in 2. And then
That-
she comes back in 3.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a deal. But yeah. But the thing is like you talk to her and she talks about how like
You kind of have to.
you were saying.
Yeah, you have to
you
poke
have to
at
prod
her. Yeah,
like,
you had to poke and like get her to open up.
Yeah.
But once you do, oh yeah, she's got a story.
if every single time like I got back from a mission, I just went and talked to her, even if she totally blows you off, which she will
does.
for a really long time until you progress the story a little bit more and she goes on missions with you. I put her in my party every single time in Mass Effect 2.
Well, you gotta have some sort of a person who does biotics.
Yeah.
You know, it's
And-
like, who are you gonna use? Samara, Jack, or Miranda?
Yeah,
Or
and I didn't
yourself.
like Miranda.
Or
And-
yourself.
And that was the other
Yeah.
thing is a lot of people would can Jack and go for Miranda. Clearly.
Gotta get that booty.
You gotta get the booty. Yeah, that's what it was. So that was what like a lot of people would just put Miranda in it. I hated Miranda. She sucks.
I don't
like her
thought she was
character.
okay.
She's a jerk.
No, but here's the thing, though. She's supposed to be that role in the game, though. You got to have that character in the game.
I don't know, but I mean, Jack
And
was
that's
perfect fill though, because like you eventually found out about her.
Right.
With Miranda, she just kind of threw all the information out there, and then for me, she tells me the information, tells her about her sister, tells her about her dad, blah blah blah, this and that, and eventually I go, I still don't care about you. Like you're still a jerk.
Okay,
this
that's
has
fine.
no reason of why you're like with Jack. She's tortured.
Yeah.
She's loses someone that she loved very dearly. It's the reason why she doesn't want to talk to you. And she even tells you like, I don't want to do this. And then there's even a time where like, what I do like about the Jack love scene is you don't do anything. Like you just hug each other.
Yeah.
And she's crying. And there's this sense of like she is completely changed.
Yeah.
And you have torn down this huge barrier. And that I've never experienced with another character.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I love Jack. And then when 3 came back.
Yeah,
Ashley came back.
Yeah.
And so that was a big
Oh,
situation.
God.
But-
Yeah, I knew you were gonna have problems in 3. I
Yeah.
remember when he was playing through them, and he was talking about his characters and his relationship developing. And when he said in 2 he switched over to Jack, and I already known
yeah.
everything by then, and I'm like, oh, okay. Because in my head I'm thinking, oh, this is gonna
And
get
I didn't want to
interesting.
look anything up either.
Yeah, I
so
didn't want to spoil anything for him. He wasn't spoiling anything for himself, and I just was in my head. I'm like, yeah, he's gonna have an interesting time in 3.
Yeah. So
Did you get her that? Did you bring Ashley that Thoreau book?
Thoreau book.
That what's his name? Henry Davis Thoreau.
I bought
You
the
bought
book.
all.
No, I only bought. Yeah, because I think if you buy all the books, it doesn't work. You have to buy the specific one.
Specific,
yeah, and I didn't know
the specific book that
Yeah,
she quotes
I
all the time.
I
yeah.
knew. Well, I saw that one, and I'm like, oh, well, then I guess I must. These might be 3 different cutscenes, so I bought them all, and I was like, oh, and then it never happened, and I was like, oh, and then you told me about that. But anyway, yeah. So I got Elizabeth, Jack, I had Dom on here, but I only really like it when someone else is playing because he's almost more intriguing than Marcus is in some ways.
I like Dom more than Marcus. I agree.
And
with that
then and Chie. So there's my sidekicks.
All right.
Annoying.
Moving on to the most annoying.
What is that?
Oh, okay. So I couldn't really think. It was hard for me to sift through the memories in my mind.
Oh yeah, I believe it was mine too.
Thinking of like an annoying character because recently I don't really get annoyed by like video games that much, or if I get annoyed by a video game, I get annoyed by like a lot of the characters. So in order for me to like say this is a really annoying character, the character has to stand out. In my opinion, has to stand out in comparison to the rest of the cast. Like the rest of the cast is like really awesome, and then this character is just like the like hangnail of the bunch.
Yeah,
like,
why was this in here?
Why did they have to be here?
Yeah.
Although I understand why this character exists, and I think it's really unique and cool. Is Mr. Rossetti from Animal Crossing.
Oh, Rebecca has told me about this person.
And so Mr. Rossetti,
that's the mole, right?
Yeah, he's this mole guy in Animal Crossing.
Is he the one that owns everything?
No, that's Tom Nook.
Okay.
No. Mr. Rossetti
I like his
is
name too.
the only time you meet him. You don't pretty much in New Leaf. You don't have to talk to him
Mr.
anymore.
Rossetti.
Yeah,
Okay.
because in New Leaf you're the mayor, and no one wants to mess with you, right? Because
Okay.
you're the big boy in town. Right?
Yeah.
In the previous games though, because I was a kid, I didn't have all the time in the world to spend waiting for days to pass. Because in Animal Crossing, time passes by in real time, and I always wanted my money to just make itself by depositing in the bank, and then on the DS you could change the clock feature. Fast forward like 100 years and you'd have a bunch of money. Although the downside of that is some people might have moved out and you'd get tons of weeds in your town. But at the cost of getting a whole bunch of free money, I was willing to do that.
I mean, this is the gaming world you wanted to live in too.
Exactly. Well, yeah. Oh well, I can't cheat in real life. Really. I can't
fast forward 100 years. You get a lot of weeds in your yard, so.
So if you do that, you have a present when you step outside of your house. Because every time you save and exit the game, you're in your house in that game, and then you have to exit out your front door. And if you exit out your front door, normally you can just walk around freely, talk to people, blah blah. Well, if you've tampered with the game in any way like that,
Yeah.
you got a little mole hole pops open. Mr. Rossetti comes out, and he has this very iconic song that goes along with him. That's like kind of grating to the ears, and he talks in all caps. And he will talk depending on how often you do this. By the way, it gets longer and longer, and he'll just talk to you about you shouldn't be resetting your game. You know what this does, right? You can't just change your life like this. You gotta live it like a normal person. Blah blah blah. You can't be breaking society and blah blah. And then eventually he'll go, well, I guess you finally understand. Just don't do it again. And I remember as a kid, I did it like maybe 6 or 7 times. And one time I was just pressing A for I think like 20 minutes, and he was just talking to me and talking to me and talking to me and talking to me.
Does he repeat the same stuff over?
No,
and over?
he says like whole like rant pretty much
that gets longer and longer.
about like how awful of a person you are.
You're a terrible person.
And so like, yeah,
All right.
that's
Did
the.
you get his
the-
name now? Reset E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
Reset E.
Rebecca told me, I was like, aha, I get that. Yeah. Oh, am I going now?
It's your turn, yeah.
Yes, it's your.
I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet, and I'm
Yeah,
just
mine's
gonna
gonna be
say
short.
Titus, Final Fantasy X.
That was a good one, but I didn't complete it, so I didn't write him down.
What
But
are
yeah, he was
you
kind of a jerk.
annoying though?
What's that? No, it's not just that. I despise him as a character. I despise his personality. I hate how he was written. I did not. I hated his outfit.
I was
just
about to ask
You didn't
couldn't-
like his
that.
parachute pants?
Parachute
shorts, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't like any of his dialogue. I didn't like his personality. I tend to, in the Final Fantasy games, I tend to not like the characters that are the more upbeat, like just always cheerful all of the time, like Titus or Vanille from the 13 games. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Just Titus from 10. I can't do it. No, pass.
Mine, I couldn't think of any really, because like I look too much into games, and so by the time you, like you were saying, like when you get a good game, you're not gonna get like a crappy person.
Yeah.
So I had to resort back all the way to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel of the Roses for the PlayStation 2. Weevil was a pain in the butt because I kid you not, man, he talked so much smack in that game. At least as far as I can remember, to the point where as like a little kid, I got so mad. I remember telling my mom, I'm like, this dude, all he says is you suck. I can't deal with it. And all she'll say was like, you don't have to play the game. And I'm like, no, but I have to because he's a jerk and I have to beat him. And this is how it's supposed to. And she's like, okay, do whatever you want. So but that was the first game where I was swearing at the console. I was like, this sucks. You are terrible. Like, and I was.
Well, I mean, that dude threw Exodia into the ocean.
That's true. This is true. This is the bug guy. He played
if
with a
you
lot
ever
of
watched
bugs.
Yu-Gi-Oh or anything like that.
He
No.
didn't get the Time Wizard reference.
Oh.
Time Wizard. Like, I don't know what. Anyway.
No.
He threw Exodia. That's like one of the rarest like set of
No
cards.
one's ever seen that card ever, even throughout the whole series.
He was just like,
Gone. Yeet. But anyway, yeah, Weevil from Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel of the Roses. I don't know why. I can't think of any other character that was so annoying. I didn't play Zelda, so like,
Yeah.
Navi was not an issue for me. Like, so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Zelda's annoying. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, we're moving on. Oh, wait, any closing topics? Any closing things? Short and sweet.
No,
Short and
just Titus. I just couldn't stand Titus.
That was all for the. Any closing
I mean,
statements?
yeah, this show already knows pretty much full well my opinion on 10, and
Yeah.
he was a big part of that opinion
was
on
trash.
10. Why I thought it was trash. Yeah.
well, I mean, he's the lead character, so you kind of have to follow him around.
Yeah.
This is true. All right. We're moving on to the third and final topic. All right. Gaming the movie. Here's how this topic works. You're going to pick a game that you feel as if would be either a good movie, could be a movie that could sell, just a game overall. If you have a cast, that's great. If you think of one that, here, I'll give you an example, okay? I'll give you my example. I think we could just say ours and then discuss about it. So one that I think would just sell, would just do a great job, would be obviously Call of Duty the movie. Like, it's a war thing. You just slap Call of Duty on it, and you're off, and you're
good to
making
go.
millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And you get a good director, like
You got Kevin Spacey already.
exactly. He's already there.
Yeah, he's already there.
Troy
Ready to
Baker's
go.
not in it. He not.
He'll dub over.
No, Matt Mercer will be in it now. I'm sorry. So that one would that would be like instant selling. My dream one would be Gears of War, and I've had this cast since you can obviously tell when I thought you've already read it, didn't you? Okay. So when I was in this mode, this was the cast I wanted as Gears of War, and I feel like it would be great.
Okay.
Coltrane
Okay.
Woo! All about the culture. Yeah, that guy.
Uh-huh.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see it. Yeah.
We passing? Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Baird.
Yeah.
John Cena.
See, I'm not familiar with John Cena. So.
Funny dude. Baird, kind of funny.
I know.
Yeah.
He,
Okay, so I get a good pass on that
Okay.
one.
Yeah, the only thing I know with John Cena is he does a lot of charity work, which is awesome.
Yes,
That's,
he's a great dude.
I haven't like seen him like wrestle.
Okay.
I don't know him like as a wrestler, so.
I know. I grew up with him, so that was kind of what it was. Not with. Yeah, you got what I mean.
Yeah, I know. What you
No,
mean.
I
Now-
remember you grew up.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
it.
You had. I have the picture. I showed it to you. It's in my wallet. Dom.
Huh?
Dave Bautista. And at the time, he was not an actor, but he has now been an actor.
Yeah, he's been.
He's
two
been in
movies
Guardians.
Yeah, he's been in.
I'm just saying, Dave Bautista, right there.
I think he's been in more movies though than just Guardians, but that's.
Yeah, but they were
Drax
WWE
is
films.
Drax is
Yeah.
his big hit.
Yeah.
So.
And Marcus Phoenix, the man, the myth, the legend, the game, the cerebral
Triple H.
assassin, Triple
Oh
H.
man. Okay.
All
All right.
WWE superstars, all past and present.
I mean,
Okay.
they do have to be built.
That's what I'm saying. They just have to be. They
Yeah.
have to be jacked, and all four of those guys
Yeah,
are jacked.
that's true.
Triple
I
H is
guess-
getting a little bit on the pudgy side, but he stays fit.
Why he's what like turning 50 soon?
No, I don't think he's 50. I don't think Triple H is 50.
I don't know.
I gotta look that up now. But I know John Cena just turned 40.
Yeah, I was gonna say if John Cena's like 40, Triple H has got to be Triple H and The Rock have got to be like pushing 50. I have no idea.
Let's see here.
On the fly.
47.
Yeah,
Almost
see,
50.
pushing 50.
He's only 7 years older than John Cena.
He's pushing 50.
Okay, whatever.
He's gonna be a Hulk. He's gonna be Hulk
He's
soon.
I think he's as old as my mom. I think he's as old as my mom.
He's a
But
little-
anyway, yeah, that's my
yeah,
cast.
Triple H
They're
could be
all
your father.
built. They're all built.
Yeah.
They fit those roles, and Triple H is funny. All of them are funny in some way, shape, or form, and that's everyone needs a little dice of humor in Gears of War.
Yeah,
And
it's
they
in
all
there.
need to be action. They all need to fit that armor. I'm just saying that's my cast of Gears of War.
Okay.
You got Triple H as Marcus Phoenix. You have Dave Bautista
What about
as Dom. You have John Cena as Baird, and you have
Who's gonna play the
Dwayne.
guy that always dies?
Carmine.
Yeah, his
Hey guys, so there's a little bit of a problem with the video. Obviously, it cut out. So, yeah. But enjoy the rest of the audio. So we're just gonna put up a logo, and that's how that's gonna work out. Is that okay?
I'm gonna put some gameplay or something up behind.
A gameplay. Okay, what game?
Overwatch.
Overwatch. Okay, here's some Overwatch gameplay. So over the time frame. NATO potato. Here's some gameplay of Overwatch during the rest of the gameplay. Sorry, guys.
Carmine.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker. Anyway, we need a third one, don't we? Anyway, it's because there's 3 Carmine. No, is there 3 Carmines or 4?
Just have it be the same guy, different helmet.
That's what it normally is.
Yeah, I know.
But it's was it Anthony Benjamin Cameron, something like that?
Oh, and then
I
it'd be a
don't know.
D because
Yeah.
it's
I don't know.
ABCD.
I don't know if 4 had a D. I
I
don't.
have no idea.
Anyway, that came out wrong. Anyway,
Ha ha.
well, actually, yours was a little bit faster because you didn't have a cast for yours.
No, I couldn't think of a cast. I wrote down 2 ideas. I think the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, if they stick to the story, because I know
So you just jump it right into Oblivion.
yeah, yeah. Well, if you stick to the main story of Oblivion, it's really good because I know that if you pick the Elder Scrolls, it's like, well, what do you focus on? Because there's so much to do, and I would just say just stick to the main storyline. for
World
the
of
main
Warcraft
quest.
came out. And that didn't work very well, and that was an RPG.
Yeah, I don't think that was Blizzard's fault or the source material's fault.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest,
Yeah. It got a you got a 32 out of 100 on Metacritic.
Oh, that's
I think
pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. That's
Yeah,
a 3.2.
Well, if you doubled it, you'd be getting a 64. Out of
That's
100.
true. If you did double it,
Did double
if you
it,
did double
you
it,
would be passing.
He's got a point. He's got a point. What's your second movie?
I think my second movie, which would probably be easier, would be a Borderlands game.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. That would be cool.
I think a Borderlands
So-
game would be amazing.
You couldn't think of who would be good in Borderlands?
No, not really. I
mean, there are
not
4
really.
main characters in that.
Yeah, I just turn it into Guardians of the Galaxy on Pandora. Good to go.
There you go,
I
Hollywood.
should have said that. That was a good idea.
Well, let's see what you got.
Because
What do you-
I mean, Borderlands is very much similar to like the Guardians of the Galaxy formula.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
funny.
Yeah,
It's wild and zany.
yeah. If
yeah.
anybody's out there like, oh, we need to capitalize on this Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, well, I mean,
thing.
you had Disney paying
Yeah.
the check on that one. But
Yeah,
that was mainly it.
buy the licensing for Take-Two to make a Borderlands movie.
You could
I would see that doing fairly well. I mean, it would probably look like, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy with Fury Road, and
yeah.
I think I would watch
That
that.
would be cool.
What about you, Quinn? What movie would
Just
you like to
less
see that's a
Claptrap.
game? Less Claptrap. Why? He's
I can't stand Claptrap.
So my movie would be based off of Star Wars Republic Commando. I don't know if any of you guys have played that
you
game.
know that one?
Is that a real-time strategy one?
No, it's on Xbox. It's a focus on the clone troopers. They're elite task force.
Oh,
the
the
clone
first-person
troopers.
shooter?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
that's
one. Okay,
right.
yeah.
That was like for PC and like Xbox, right?
Yeah.
And I really loved that.
It was
game
like
as a kid.
it was like a Doom, but like Star Wars.
Yeah.
It was M-rated too.
Yeah,
wasn't
it was like because it was a
M-rated
heavy
Star Wars
focus.
game.
It was sort of like how Rogue One is for like the Republic and Empire or whatever. So this would be more for like the droids versus the clones and stuff like that. More like the what's going on behind the scenes of
So
the
you're
main
saying
characters.
this is a prequel?
No, well,
Is it taking place in the prequel?
yeah, it takes place in the prequels.
Okay.
It takes place with the clone troopers, and it focuses on the war between like them when they go to Geonosis and stuff, and like fighting against all of the droids. And it was a really cool game if you haven't played it. It was gritty and stuff like that, and you
Yeah.
actually got to command your like.
Yeah,
Everyone-
wasn't it like a kind of like a Ghost Recon?
Yeah,
where
it was sort of like that. And you had like a demolitions expert, you had like a sniper, I think you had like a medic guy.
Yeah.
Medic guy.
Yeah, just
He has a cross on his armor
Yeah,
somewhere.
he was like medic man. And I think that would just be it would be a pretty cool movie. I mean, they already did sort of like the gritty war story with Republic Commando, so seeing that with like clone troopers could be
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, right now, you gotta deal with Disney.
Yeah.
So you ain't gonna get an R-rated movie, but you could get a hard PG-13.
Imagine that. A
You could-
Disney,
A Disney
R-rated,
R-rated
movie?
Have you not seen was it Pulp Fiction?
Pulp Fiction's not a Disney movie.
Who owns Miramax? Disney owns Miramax.
Back then?
They own them now. That's their rated R company.
Well, then put it through Miramax. There you go.
There you go. You
Yeah.
can do it. Yeah, have Quentin Tarantino direct it.
There you go.
Quentin
That
Tarantino
would be
Star
a
Wars
little
movie.
weird.
You would not get anything out of that.
Nope.
I think
you
you
wouldn't
could
even
get
get probably the Star Wars music.
No, I think you can get a pretty good solid PG-13 though. You can get a PG-13 movie. I mean, all the new Star Wars movies are PG-13. So
Yeah.
there you go.
I mean,
Yeah,
PG,
speaking of-
they don't need to curse or anything. They just need to kill people and die.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you need to do. Just kill people and die. Yeah, I mean, here are some of the games that have been made in movies. Obviously, we had Tomb Raider.
With Angelina
Angelina
Jolie.
Jolie is playing it.
Yeah. I didn't
Not
care
a
for him.
fan of Khaleesi playing Lara Croft.
Wait, what?
Did you know this?
Are they rebooting
Yes. you
Tomb
didn't
Raider?
know
And they're
this.
and they're using
Oh.
the actress who plays Khaleesi.
Yes, in Game of Thrones. Now here's the thing. Not a fan of this because I'm a fan of Camilla Luddington as Lara Croft, and I've even told her this.
Mhm.
And so, but my thing is like, you already have this person.
Mm-hmm.
She's already an actress.
Mm-hmm.
So where was the contract signed? Like until I hear Camilla Luddington was like, "No, I don't want to do it,"
Mm-hmm.
then this doesn't make any sense.
I wouldn't see her turning it down either.
Yeah, exactly. And I just don't get it. Like
Yeah, I don't
she
get it
already gets mocabbed.
Yeah.
She already is literally put in the game. Like I mean, physically and every
visually, yeah.
digitally put in there. And I'm just not a fan of that.
Yeah, and then the Angelina Jolie, I didn't like them. The only reason The only people that I knew to go watch that movie went to just go oogle at her in the outfit.
And they made what 3 movies out of that?
3 of them,
Jeez,
yeah.
I was 4 or 5 or something.
The highest rated Metacritic, we checked on Wikipedia, so this is where all these numbers are coming. Mortal Kombat got the highest rated Metacritic number.
That was a good movie too.
58 out of 100. That came out.
Honestly, I'm surprised out of all the video game movies, that was the highest rated one because I think that movie is god awful.
Really? You don't like that one?
No, I hate.
I was like the perfect age when
came
that
out
movie.
in the 80s, right?
No,
No, it came out way earlier.
no,
than
it came
that.
out in the mid '90s.
Yeah,
Oh, it did
it was
really?
in
Mortal
that
Kombat didn't come out till like the '92
Oh, that's
or
right. 'cause the
'93,
ESRB
and
stuff
then
like that didn't start
and then the
until,
movie came out a couple years after that. I was like the perfect age of like 9.
Man,
or
they really
10.
capitalized on that, didn't they?
Oh yeah. Oh
They're like
no,
arcade movie. Like
Yeah.
it's already got buzz.
Yeah, and I was like the perfect age, and I remember eating that movie up when I was younger, and yeah.
Another one that's a little more recent. Prince of Persia:
I
Sands of
hate that
Time.
movie too.
50 out of 100 was the second highest rated. Now I remember when this movie was coming out and Disney was backing it so hard.
Yeah, they put a lot
They
of
were
money
like,
into it.
nope, it's gonna be it's gonna be good, it's gonna be great. We have Jake Gyllenhaal, we have all this stuff. Wait a minute. You have Jake Gyllenhaal playing a Prince of Persia? Yep. All right. We're just gonna load off of that one. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, and then the game came out. The actual Sands of Time. Wait, did Sands of Time the game came out first? Yeah.
No, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time was like a 2D. No, was it 2D or was it 3D?
There's a 3D one.
Those came out in like the 90s, late 90s.
That one did because I know there was a PlayStation 2 game. I had that game.
I don't remember.
I didn't really like Prince of Persia because everyone was like buying Assassin's Creed, and then at GameStop, Game Crazy. This guy was like,
Well, Assassin's
"Oh,
Creed
yeah,
wasn't
you
on the
know."
PlayStation 2 though.
No, it was. So it might have been like 360, but I still didn't have a 360 yet.
Was it the
I
one who
didn't have
had
one
like
yet.
the blue and red outfit with the claw?
I can't remember, but I didn't have a 360 yet.
Didn't
so
Nolan North voice acted?
I don't know. I didn't. Play
I
Prince of
actually
Persia.
liked that game. I had that, and I actually liked that. I thought it was a fun platformer. It's not like if you took Prince of Persia off of it and just released it as its own thing, I think it would have done a lot. I think it would have been done better. But Prince of Persia having it attached to it, I think is what drew people away from it.
Yeah, I mean that was the yeah. It just felt not as because as soon as Assassin's Creed came out, that was it. Like Prince of Persia died. It didn't continue on. They just stopped because they tried competing against it, like Ubisoft versus. Oh crap! They versed themselves.
Yeah, no, I'm like, where are you
Yeah,
going
they
with this?
didn't-
They
yeah, they
they do both of them.
Well, it was
killed
two
themselves.
studios. It was
Yeah.
two studios, but
Yeah.
yeah, they killed off their own platform.
They
But I guess they
cut
moved
off
on.
their own leg.
Yeah, exactly. They moved on though.
Speaking of, man, yeah, I'm remembering that game. I actually liked that game.
Max Payne got a 31 out of 100 on
I
Metacritic.
don't remember that that game being a movie.
Yeah, wasn't like someone big was in that movie, wasn't it?
I don't remember it coming to theaters.
Let's
so.
see here. Max Payne
On the Fly.
movie.
That's not how you spell Max Payne.
Yep, Paya.
Oh, that's right, with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's
What?
right.
Marky Mark was in here. There it is.
Yeah.
Melina Kunis is in this game. What?
Ludacris.
Luna. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
There's a lot of big names in this movie. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Obviously Warcraft.
They got a good
Being-
score.
Yep, 32 out of 100.
32. I think that's deserved, but yeah.
You've seen it. I did not see it.
I saw it in theaters.
Wow, you actually paid the money to go see that movie?
Well, so myself, I spent many years playing World of Warcraft. Rebecca's family all played it together, and her mom still
Okay.
plays
So
it.
there was sentimental going in.
Yeah, and
But
her
then there was
and-
shame coming out.
no, we actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, because the Easter eggs.
Because all the Easter eggs in it made it fun.
Yeah.
It follows not WoW though storyline. It follows the real time strategy storyline. So like her mom.
What is that?
Well,
There's two different.
no,
Yeah,
they
'Cause
follow.
there's Warcraft.
Well, it follows the beginning of the Warcraft series of the real-time strategy games, which those influence WoW, but not everything moves over the same. So it's not a movie. Oh, it's not a movie based on WoW. It's a movie based on the lore from the first 3 Warcraft games, Warcraft 1, 2, and 3.
Interesting.
And so like a lot of the story, because my girlfriend's mom has been playing WoW since beta. Yeah, and she's even got the trophy for being on the 10-year anniversary of it. They sent people who've been subscribed for that whole time frame.
Yeah.
They send them little statues of their, because in front of the Blizzard HQ they have their big statue of I don't remember, is it Thrall? I don't remember if it's Thrall. An orc riding a wolf.
As one orc does.
Yeah.
Rides orcs.
And so they
Yeah, orcs ride orcs.
Yeah.
So
Humans ride humans.
That's how other orcs are
well, but they sent little miniature versions about that big to people who had been subscribed for the 10 years.
Okay.
I think Alex from work has one.
Jesus. I remember
but she took us to go see it, her and her boyfriend who play WoW together, they both have been playing since beta. They didn't get a lot of the references and a lot of the lore behind the story because it's not WoW references and lore. Like there are some things that are in there that are that you can that are in WoW too, but most of it is from Warcraft 1, 2, and 3.
Interesting.
So
I never put together that there was a Warcraft and then there was World of Warcraft.
Yeah, there's Warcraft 1, 2, and 3,
Yeah,
and then Dota came from Warcraft 3 mod, and then there was
See, I always thought they were talking about.
and then there's WoW.
But see, that's the thing. I was not a PC gamer at that time.
Yeah.
And still really
I was
not really.
3 years old by the time it was 2000, so I was not a gamer at that time.
2000, I was 5.
I was in high school.
Another game is Silent Hill. Got a 30 out of 100.
Good score.
Good score. If you double it, they get 60. So I mean, yeah. But Silent Hill, I feel it's like one of those games it's one of those games you think on paper.
Would work.
It's a great storyline.
But they don't follow the game.
Exactly. That is a big
that's
problem.
the problem is they don't follow.
And I think that's part of the reason why Resident Evil doesn't work is because this is a totally different thing. It has nothing to do with the games. You took Leon, you took Chris, you tossed them to the side. I think actually doesn't Chris make an appearance like in the first one?
Jill or not Jill? No,
I think it is a girl.
But
isn't it his sister?
one of the characters from the games do show up later on in the movies.
Not Leon though.
Not Leon, that to my knowledge, because I stopped watching after the.
I have not seen one. I haven't seen one, so I refuse. I
7 of
refuse to watch them.
Yeah, pay with your wallet.
In the first movie, because I don't know, my knowledge of the first 2 movies is very minimal because I did watch them, but I watched them when I was young, so before I played the games. So by the time,
the only people I know that like the movies that have know nothing of the games.
Yeah. Well, Wesker makes an appearance in the movies, but I don't think I think he's just there in the first 2 and he goes, right?
They do actually fight him in one of the more recent ones.
Oh, okay.
Because one of the most recent one I believe that came out is based off of Revelations because they go on a ship or something like that. But
so they did try to tie it back, but it was just too little, too late.
Because like Damnation, or the one that takes place in the desert, is the one that had the most I think Resident Evil characters because it had Chris's sister in it.
Yeah, the one you can play in the first game.
Yeah, or no, not in the first game. It's second. Yeah, she's playable.
Oh,
because you can choose between Leon and Claire Redfield. The first game is Jill and Chris, which Jill.
That was it, Jill Valentine. Okay,
and I don't know if Jill appears in any of the Resident Evil movies, because I can't remember correctly about the first couple ones. The only thing I know about the second movie that they actually tied in with the second game was that the main voice or the main actress lady, I don't know her.
The one that was in she's in Fifth Element, right? Yeah.
the character she plays, who is an original character, like Alice, because there's multiple of her. They just make more clean clones of her out of like the virus.
Oh wow, spoiler.
Um,
No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, because people really care.
Yeah. You gotta get that Resident Evil movie lore, okay?
Yeah, her boyfriend turns into the
The big monster guy.
I can't remember what it's called right now. But the thing that chases you throughout Resident Evil 2.
Okay.
Or no, Resident Evil 3. My bad. I said 2, but 3 because it takes place before or.
So did they confirm that the timelines do exist next to each other, or are they're different universes?
For the movies?
Yeah.
I don't
know.
think Capcom.
Yeah. What's the step
yeah.
away from that?
Yeah, I think the guy like directing it loosely follows like some sort of bit of story from like the respective games. Like he goes, "That's cool. I'm putting it in the movie." It's kind of like, honestly, I feel like it's like able to steal like an idea you really like. Because essentially it's like his own Resident Evil fan fiction at this point.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of the thing was, you know, they do make the animation movies. I think the only one I've seen is Degeneration, and it was because Leon was in it, and I was like, oh, you know, I just got done playing Resident Evil 4. I won't play this, you know, and then I was like, wow, this is pretty good. Like for what it is, I already like Leon. Like I prefer him over Chris anytime.
Of course.
I mean, you got that hair. I mean, yeah.
He's good looking. He's got the humor. He's got Matt Mercer's voice.
not the movie.
Yeah, in the movie. In the movie, he does.
Oh, wait. Okay, so you got to tell me because I don't think you told me the full thing. So
Matt
the
Mercer,
guy that played in 4 is not anywhere else in any other
he
game.
only voiced Leon in 4 because Leon's really young in 4, and then every Leon after that is Matt Mercer.
So 4 was like in the past?
Yeah, 4 was really young Leon.
I don't play it.
Or not really young.
I've only played the 4.
Younger.
The youngest Leon
I thought
is
that
in
was when
number
he was
2.
a cop. Yes. when he's a
Resident
police
Evil
officer.
2 is his youngest, and then 4 takes place when he's like probably 20 something. Because most of the time Resident Evil games take place the year that they come out.
Yes.
And
So that one took place in like 2004.
yeah, so he's like in his 20s because the original Raccoon City incident was like 98 or something, and he was like late teens, early 20s. He was a beginning cop. That was
So
like
Matt
his first
Mercer
hit.
played this in
No,
the second
not
one?
in 4. Not in 2. There was no voice acting. That was a PS1 game.
I don't know.
Well, okay.
I
There
didn't
could,
play
actually,
that one.
no, I take that back. There could have been voice acting because, you know, the whole Jill Sandwich thing, but
I don't think.
Yeah, there was no because
Was
yeah,
there
in the
voice
first
acting in
Resident Evil
Had
there is
the-
voice
the
acting because
Jill
that is
sandwich,
the Jill
yeah.
sandwich is
but
said.
I don't recall anyone talking about the voice acting in 2 or 3.
So,
So
I mean, how much can you stand out from the first game? I don't know. Maybe it is just text, but or maybe it's just
yeah, exactly. So I don't know if there is a voice actor because when I looked up on the Wikipedia to find this information about like how many times Matt Mercer played Leon, for Chris they actually put down like who voiced him in the first game, who voiced him in the remaster.
Oh wow, so they have a different voice
yeah,
actor
who
for the
voiced him
remaster?
in 5, who voiced him. Well, 5 was still the same in 6 and
Yeah.
forward. I believe that's the current one that they use for the movies as well. And then for Leon, it's the guy who voiced him in 4, and then Resident Evil 6, and then is all that is Matt Mercer 6 and forward.
But,
It's all Matt
yeah,
Mercer.
so Matt's played Leon in the 6th one and the animation.
Yeah, and all the animation.
Okay.
So all older Leon, or
Yeah.
or I guess current Leon.
Yeah.
You would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, the other thing, I think Resident Evil could be great. It's like another thing. It's just like Silent Hill. It can be great. On paper, it's fantastic. You have zombies. You have the
Cool
fact
characters.
that you have great characters that are already established that fans already know. But then you got people in Hollywood that are like, no, we're gonna redo it. We're gonna do our own
We're
thing.
gonna make our fan fiction.
Yeah,
out of it.
exactly. Another thing with, like, I feel like now that we've seen all these comic book characters, we're getting almost the same. I mean, Disney has done an amazing job with the Marvel cinematic universe where they're like, they didn't. I mean, at one point they eventually realized, okay, we're gonna make this a big deal. But like when they made Iron Man, that was we're rolling dice. Like first off, we got Robert Downey Jr., who has not a very good past, and then you have, these people that it's Iron Man. Iron Man's a jerk. Like it's the same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy. No one cared about Guardians of the Galaxy when Guardians of the Galaxy came out, but you started attaching people to how the storyline goes, and now we're 11 12 years in since Iron Man, 10 years because I think Iron Man came out in 2007, but like still we're 10 years later and we're still talking about Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like those are weird Doctor Strange all have big fan bases except Guardians. I mean, it has its fan base, but for different reasons, but people already liked them, and now we're getting the live action thing, the things that people always played in their minds of like, oh, what would have happened if this was a movie, like, or have a totally different thing. And essentially, like with the Marvel Cinematic Universe is, here are the big chunks. We got to put these in here. Sprinkle in our own thing, but when it all comes down to it, this is what's going to happen. Like, we're all leading up to Thanos. We're all leading up to how are the next big question is, how are the Guardians crossing over to Thor, or to any of the other, like my theory is that they're going to cross in Thor, but how are the Guardians crossing over to the mainline cinematic universe and getting Thanos involved in everything? I mean, obviously the Avengers pissed him off, and Guardians are pissing him off even worse, and so eventually they're gonna have to clamor against each other. But I feel like if that was what we did with video games, we could do it. But there's the other thing I talked to you about this the other day was, you have a maybe 40-hour game, and you have 2 hours you gotta do that into.
It's hard.
Yeah, and so like you can have Nathan Drake fondling around over on the cliff and trying to climb the thing and keep falling down, and you're like, oh no, I gotta climb back up.
Well, the thing is, I would imagine they would cut that stuff out,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
But that adds to your game. Like you're spending time with this character, even though you're forcibly having to.
Right, because if you go to like the Uncharted games and you just watch the cutscenes, you get like a 2-hour movie out of it.
Yeah, but I mean that's how that game is designed.
Right.
The same with The Last of Us. Last of Us is just a movie with minor gameplay.
Filler gameplay.
Yeah.
Between the movie.
I mean, we did get Last of Us the movie though. Logan. That was what it was. Logan was.
I haven't watched Logan.
Oh, it's a good movie. But yeah, that's mainly all. I had Ratchet and Clank on here too. They got 29 out of 100 on Metacritic.
Love that movie.
Shut up.
Actually, okay, so no joke though. I had no expectations going into that movie, and it was all right.
Okay.
All
right. It was the Disney movie that everyone thought that the old.
Wait, Disney did that?
No, but like a lot of
say.
people said, like when Ratchet and Clank came out, they were like, "Oh, this looks like a Disney movie."
Oh.
And then like now they got their movie. Didn't really change much.
I think Jack and Dexter would have been a better fit.
The animation was good. Yeah, I wish it was Jack and Daxter because.
I mean, yeah, you'll have Dexter giving all the jokes for the adults to get, and
it would have been great. I love Jack and Daxter.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Any final things? You good?
Borderlands the movie. Let's have it.
Let's make it happen. You don't even have your cast yet. You're just. I don't care who's in it. Just there you go.
If it's written well and
you want Chris Pratt in it? If you were to put Chris Pratt in there, what would you put him in?
Probably have him be like the soldier.
Well,
it depends on like what kind of a game you're gonna be.
It's a Claptrap.
Claptrap.
I mean, no, it depends on which character types that they would take from the games to use.
Yeah.
So.
What about you? What is your closing statements?
I love Kung Fu.
All right.
What? I can't top that one, so we're gonna end that conversation there. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just watched Bitcade. We are. You get what it's time. Okay. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Bitcade. right here on Primal Target. If you want to watch more, make sure you click that little subscribe button and then you tap the bell button next to it, because these episodes come out every single week. Every Saturday, there's a new episode of Bitcade, and then every single week, and then at the end of the month, you get the full episode if you're one of those people that's just like, no, I'm going to chill out. I'm going to wait. I'm a patient person. It's kind of like Square Enix, except all of our stuff is free. So there you go. Anyway, see, that was a huge callback. We've been talking for almost 2 hours. Anyway, there are multiple platforms that we are on. There's a little thing at the very end where it's going to tell you the last video of Bitcade plus our most current video. So you can go click on that. And then a little circle with our logo in it. You click that, and it'll take you to a subscribe thing. And like I said, tap the bell button. But we're on multiple platforms of social media. We are over there on twitch.tv/primal_target. Over there, we do live streams every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And yeah, we have some fun times over there. Plus, we are over on Facebook.com/Primal Target. Just Facebook.com/Primal Target. That's where we're at. If you like us there, you get the notifications on when a video gets uploaded, when listen, a nice little message is there, and when we go live on Twitch. But if you're more of a Twitter person, we have that as well. At Primal_Target is where we're at over on Twitter. There, you get notified, Quinn, on when we go live on Twitch and things like that. We're also on Instagram. We just have an Instagram if you want to share the love. But remember, you guys built the PT Nation, and it's up to you. It's up to you to build it. Thank you, David. Thank you, Quinn.
I thought I was David.
We'll see you guys in the next episode. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Bye.